Hi, everybody. So it's Saturday afternoon. I'm here in my office. And, in the past week, we've worked in Avon City Schools. We've been back in our office. We've met with a lot of new families as well as working with our current clients. And we're at that point in the year, especially this year, because there weren't a lot of visits where people are getting worried about, am I going to find that right college fit? How do I know it's going to be the right college fit? And it makes me think about two kids in the same family. Maybe you have a couple children in your family and you are shocked at how different they are. They are just night and day. One may be a real studier and like go-getter driven, and the other may be driven when they're on the field. They may be an athlete, and homework is like, what? So it's really normal that one family can raise very different children. And those very different children have different needs when it comes to a college. I know my own experience. My daughter went to school as a biology major, and she knew from the time she was 5 years old she wanted to be a veterinarian. And so when it was time, she was graduating from college as a bio major. She had already been accepted to the Ohio State University Veterinary School of Medicine, and she had this promising future. My son thought, well, gosh, I want to be a bio major. I'll go to the same school. And it was like, no, absolutely not. It's not the right fit for you. Oh my gosh, it was good enough for my sister. Why isn't it good enough for me? Well, there were a lot of reasons. It wasn't the right fit for him. And I knew it wasn't the right fit for him, but he needed to see that. And we did that by visiting the school. But we didn't just do the 15-cent walkthrough led by a 19-year-old giving their own opinion. Instead, we visited with the heads of the departments and we asked really specific questions. And we left visiting my daughter's alma mater with him saying, not sure. And we visited several other schools, and we landed on a school where we walked out of the meeting with the biology chair and my son saying, oh my gosh, like this is the place. And he knew it was the right place for him to study biology because they had different interests, different needs. And it's super important for a student to be able to really blossom in college, for them to really find themselves, to find extra activities, to get involved. Whether your child is planning on going on to grad school, whether it be medical school, law school, an MBA program, or they're going straight into the workplace, when schools or employers are looking at their resume, they want a kid who has done more than get good grades. That's kind of the expectation. Well, of course you went to college and got good grades. That's what we expect. But what else did you do? What clubs did you belong to? What leadership roles did you take? What research have you done? What extra activities? The average college student is in class 15 hours a week. A week is 168 hours. Employers want to know they filled their time with something other than the requisite partying that goes on at school. Making friends, hanging out, socializing. They want to know they did something else, that they made a difference, that they connected with others, that they worked for a cause, they did something. So finding the right school that has other people with similar interests, clubs, organizations, activities where they can really blossom, where they can really become who they are, who, express themselves, who they're meant to be, is so very important. And there's a big difference between students aspiring to Ivy schools and students aspiring to art schools, students aspiring to musical schools. There's a big difference. I'm here in Ohio, and I have to say minimum 95% of every student who walks through our door here, Ohio State. And a lot of these kids, I know Ohio State is not the right place for them. I just know that. I've been doing this for a long time. And I can give them other options that I think are a better fit for them to start to find their own way and figure this out. But it's super important, just like every student is different, there's not one right school. And just because other parents might be talking about their child's aspirations and, the Ivies, I want what's best for my kid. It must be an Ivy League school or it must be a super selective school. A lot of times it's not. It's where your kid's going to thrive, where they're going to be able to lead, where they're going to develop the skills they're going to need in the future. So don't feel the pressure of other parents, to aspire to the same types of schools. Just like your own children are different, their school selection should be too. And so, finding that right fit, super important. If you have questions about this or want some help, go ahead and feel free to message me. I'm happy to help because I think it's just so incredibly important. You're looking at minimum $100,000 investment in college. You want to find the right place. You wouldn't spend $100,000 on a house if you didn't think it was the right one. Don't do it on college. So get some help with that. Make sure that you're doing a lot of due diligence, especially since you haven't been able to visit much. Take those visits now, but you're probably going to have to take them again in the fall or over the winter to make sure that you get the right vibe, the right student feel, because students, there's not a lot of students on campus right now. But check out different types of schools. Check out different places. Check out places that aren't on your child's radar yet. My son chose a school he'd never heard of before. He chose a school that it turned out we knew someone who was there, but he didn't know that originally. So it was kind of a shock. In fact, his superintendent asked me at graduation, how did he end up there? It's not where kids from our school go. And we talked about it and he said it made perfect sense. So, and it was a perfect fit for him. So I highly encourage you to really figure out what schools might be a better fit academically, socially, and parents, don't leave out that financial piece to the end. Know what you want to spend financially and see where you're going to be so that you don't have to disappoint your kid later or go into a massive amount of debt to make their dream a reality. But really make sure it's the best fit all three ways. All right, talk to you later. Bye.